Hi everybody, my name is Jessica and this is my channel, Plant Hooker. I'm sorry I'm like a day late posting and I haven't been doing much lately. I've been sick. Much better now. I still have a bit up here, so if I sound a little nasally, I'm sorry, but that's the whole reason why. But I got a plant to talk about today. I brought out my goldfish plant. Look at this big bushy beauty. Now I actually received this plant. I got it from a friend of mine who was moving and she couldn't take him with her, and I had actually taken a couple of other plants too. And yeah, I've had him in my care. When now did I get him? August? It hasn't been quite 6 months yet since I've owned him. It'll be 6 months next month. So I think maybe August is when I got him. So February, January, December, November, October, September, August. Yeah, August or September is how long I've owned this guy. Yeah. Now when I got in him, he was in a 5-inch and I had up potted him to a 6. And he's been doing really good in it. Like, no roots coming out the bottom yet. So he's been enjoying life. Yeah. These are also called candy corn plants, Brazilian firecrackers, a guppy plant. But the Latin name is Nematocanthus gregorius. Which, it's funny, sometimes when I say some of the Latin names, I feel like I need to have a wand. And Nematocanthus gregorius. Harry Potter. And I've even propagated him. He was propagated when she had him, and I had a couple of clippings, and I had a small version of him, and I just potted that back in this when I got the plant. And then I've also taken clippings and given them to a friend of mine for Christmas, and she loves this plant. Now these guys are native to southern Mexico, Costa Rica, and Brazil. So they love the tropics. They don't like our cold Cape Breton weather. Not one bit. No. But when it comes to watering him, at this size, I'll water every between 13 and 26 days. So roughly a moisture meter level 4. They don't like to go below that, and they most certainly don't like to be overwatered. Now when it comes to fertilizer, I was kind of muffing up a little bit. I was giving him the all-purpose, and I had assumed that would be okay, but then I noticed he stopped kind of growing a little bit and wasn't too happy. And then when I pulled back, he seemed to grow more. And then when I finally did some research, it's like, oh, they don't like all-purpose. They prefer the flowering plant food, so I had ordered some. So he gets the Schultz. It's the African violet, but even though it says African violet, it's not just for African violets. It's for other plants that are blooming. Like you can use it on your Thanksgiving cactus and your goldfish plant, not your orchids. Completely different kind of flower. Now these are a high humidity plant. They don't like the wood stove. He seems to do fine downstairs though, mostly because my upstairs is pretty well full. All the windows are taken. So he's currently in a south-facing window, but to the left of the window, so he gets a lot of that nice evening light. Because these guys are part sun, part shade. So they don't like direct sunlight, like south, but they are okay with east and west direct sunlight. Yeah. But back to the humidity issue. I'll mist him every 2 days, just to make sure that he can handle being around the wood stove. And he seems to be okay. So far, so good. He hasn't shit the bed, but I do know that when I forget to mist him and he gets too hot, he starts to drop his leaves. That's actually one of their most common problem, is leaf dropping. And that's because they're too hot. Yeah. And it can also be caused by overwatering and underwatering. Can't forget that bit too. But when they get too hot, they'll drop leaves. You'll also want to clean these guys. They like to, for them to be able to absorb the highest amount of photosynthesis, because they are part sun, part shade, you'll want to clean them like every 3 months. They're not sensitive to lime and water, and I don't think chlorine bothers them too much, so you can just take them to your shower and give them a nice spray. They like it. As long as it's on a day where you're planning on watering them, because if you do it like the day after you water it, they don't like that. No, they don't. Nope. Now, ideal temperatures for these guys are between 18 and 24 degrees Celsius. So that's why when they get too hot, they'll drop their leaves. And because of where they're native from, their hardiness zone is a 12A. So here on Cape Breton, where I'm at a 5A, 5B, he cannot go outside. He hates to go outside here, apparently. Doesn't like it. So I won't be taking the chance of sticking him outside. I really like him too much to do that to him. Now when it comes to soil, now unfortunately I didn't know at the time when I repotted him. He's just in regular all-purpose, nothing fancy. I didn't really think hard, or he had roots coming out the bottom, and it was what I had on me at the time, and it was just get him into that as quick as possible. So, but so far so good. It seems okay. He's not bad or anything. But the best soils for these guys are, of course, the tropical plant soil or the epiphytic soil, which is also called the bromeliad blend, I think. And I did have some bromeliad blend, because I used that on what plant now? I think my jungle cactus. Yeah. So you can get it. Here, it's easier to find that stuff during the summertime than the wintertime. During the wintertime, I'd have to order it online. So, but he seems okay. He seems okay. And Miss Gwen is here. And the best thing about Goldfish Plant is they are non-toxic to cats. So Suicidal Gwen here will not eat him. But they are sensitive to drafts. So that is another reason why he'll drop leaves. So if you have a drafty window and it's cold, he'll drop leaves. Like, I'm trying to think which. There's a stem here where I had to pull him back a little bit from that window because he used to be in it, but it's a drafty window. But yeah, I have like a naked stem here. I thought I did. He must have dropped it. Yeah, it was like a long stem that had like little bit of leaves at the top, but then nothing on the bottom. And I don't see that. Unless I'm blind. And you might see it on there and I just don't realize it. Unless that's it here, yeah. He had dropped all. Yeah. Is sensitive to drafts, doesn't like to cold. Don't put him in drafty windows, he'll drop his leaves. Now, when it comes to pests, I personally have not had to deal with any pests with this guy. Like, I quarantined him, I treated him before putting him amongst my own plants, and I've had thrips run rampant through my home. Currently, the last times I've seen thrips was in my bedroom on my Majesty Palm, and in the playroom on my aluminum plant. You may have seen those shorts where I'm burning those leaves. It's like, there's a thrips, burn it. And I thoroughly enjoy that. When my wood stove is going and I find thrips, there's nothing more pleasurable than just plucking that leaf, watching the bug squirm, and then throwing him in the fire. It's such pleasure. They give us such pain, so they deserve it. Ideas. Sorry, there's another cat coming to see what's going on. Huh? He's just out of the frame, but he... No, don't do that. You might see his tail in a second, because he's wandering. No. No, not for you. Yeah. Squirrel. But when it comes to common problems, as I touched on the leaf drop throughout, speaking, other problems that can occur with him are a rotting base, and that's due to overwatering. Even though they look succulent type, they do still like to be watered, but as I said, it's don't bite him. It's, again, they still like to be like a moisture meter level 4. Another thing, oh wait, no, leaf drop, when they're too hot, they won't drop their leaves. When they're too hot, the leaves will turn brown. Yes, I made that mistake, sorry. No. Leaf drop is overwatering and underwatering, or cold. Too hot, the leaves turn brown. Yes. So it's not a Lyme issue like calathea is, it's because they're too hot. Yeah. Now they can get between as small as 20 centimeters, which is about 8 inches, to 80 centimeters, which is 32 inches tall. And they can spread as much as a foot to about 30 centimeters to as much as 4 feet wide. Mine, however, is about maybe 8 inches tall, 2 feet wide, give or take. It was wider, but I had taken a bunch of clippings from him, as I said. Now, would I recommend this for first-time plant owners? Yes, I most certainly would. Very easy to take care of. As long as you follow the rules for him, he's perfectly happy. He's never thrown a tantrum, never done anything wrong. Hello, Celine. Another cat is here. Can we show you? We're going to show Celine. There's Celine girl. Yeah. So yes, I would recommend him for first-time plant owners. He's been a dandy plant. I've had no issues with him. Excuse the background, my oldest is home and he promised he would be quiet, but he's not keeping his promise. No, I've had no qualms, no issues. Like, if you do your research first, or watch my video and learn what I did wrong, they are a very rewarding dandy plant. Yep. So if you have any questions, you can ask them down below. I'll try to answer them to the best of my knowledge. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, you can always give me a thumbs down. Everybody has a right to their opinion. But if you really like the video, subscribe. And as always, live long, plant on.